everybody, this is Miss Heather from the Hagerstown Public Library, and it is time for STEAM with me. Today we are going to do a Valentine's exothermic reaction, or better known as elephant toothpaste. So let's get into it. So what you're going to need is a container, something like this. This is just a plastic beaker from Amazon. I just have an aluminum tin sheet pan because it can get messy. You're going to need some peroxide, Dawn dish soap, or whatever dish soap you have. You're going to need a packet of instant quick setup yeast, and you're going to need some food coloring you want. I picked red. You can do pink or whatever, Valentine colors. You're going to need, I'm doing, so I've got half a cup of just regular water, so half a cup, okay? I took a whole package, is about a tablespoon, one whole tablespoon is about a package of your yeast. So what you're going to do is have 3 tablespoons of really warm water. It doesn't have to be boiling hot or anything, but warm enough to break down your yeast, and it'll look like this once you mix the tablespoon of yeast and the 3 tablespoons of water. Okay, so I've already kind of pre-done this a little bit here, and it's okay if you do have some clumps. So the first step you are going to do is mix in, I'm going to do half a cup of, actually I'm going to do some squirts of dish soap in my container. I'm just doing one, just some squirts of that, okay? And then I'm going to do quite a few drops of red food coloring, or you can do pink, whatever color you prefer. I'm going to do quite a bit of it because I want it to be like super, super red. And see what it's going to do. I'm going to put that in there. So make sure you put your cap on, especially if you have the more expensive food coloring, because it will stain and will get everywhere if you let it. Okay, put my cap on this. I'm going to take, I had half a cup of hydrogen peroxide. They say for you to use a higher percentage, but I just had your everyday 3%. Is it 3% peroxide. I've had this for a while, so the label's kind of wearing off. I'll put that in here. Okay, just dump it all in one container. Okay, it's nothing too sciencey about this part so far, so I'm going to kind of mix it up a little bit. Get that stuff swished around so it's a good, pretty red. Okay, so the reaction we're going to get is called an exothermal reaction. Okay, so we got that. Your soap is going to add a lot more of the bubbles to your reaction. Okay, so I'm going to take my spoon, just put it in one of my containers because I'm going to have to wash them anyway. Next, this is where we get a reaction. Okay, let's see what this does. Okay, so we are starting to get a reaction, and it's kind of warm feeling. So that is called an exothermal reaction. Okay, so this is a little slow to go. I'm gonna go like that. Okay, we're getting something. Not the explosiveness that I thought I would. I'm kind of happy because I didn't want to have to clean it off the ceiling. So this is called an exothermic reaction. It's a little warm to the touch. Even through this plastic, I can feel it. And this is a really big beaker. So this is something really big. So if you have something more of this size, it would have probably already come out of the top. So just kind of judge on what size container you want. So an exothermal reaction is warmth that is created because the energy is released through in here, okay? So I'm going to kind of add a little bit more peroxide to it and see what it does. It gives a little bit more of a reaction, okay? And I've got just a little bit of yeast left in there. Let's see what it does. So like I said, if you have a higher percentage peroxide, the experiment says that it will be a lot more explosive and give you that typical elephant toothpaste reaction. I'm just happy it didn't explode onto my ceiling, because that would be a huge mess I'd have to clean up. So as you can tell, it's still expanding, and that energy is still building up within the beaker, okay? So the yeast is what helps the oxygen be released from the hydrogen peroxide. And the foam. The foam is oxygen, water, and dish soap. Just some really simple household ingredients most people have. This was just in case we had an explosion. So as you can see, we still have quite a bit of reaction happening. I'm going to do a little bit more peroxide and just kind of experiment. Maybe. Okay, so that does add to it. See, we're getting still more of a reaction. So, if you want, if you have regular peroxide, I would do it. I would say a cup would get you a little bit more of this reaction that you're looking for. And this is a really good way to warm up your hands. And this is also where you're capable of, oh, here we go. You can actually touch this and play with this, but it is not edible. But this is very hands-on, friendly, and able to touch. So I'm going to take my ring off and see what it feels like and give you kind of a play-by-play and see what it does. So let's see how far it comes up out of the beaker. Now on YouTube, you'll see all kinds of like people doing elephant, let's call it this elephant toothpaste, and I've seen it to where like they do a whole backyard, like this guy's crazy and does a whole backyard. They've had explosions, they've done these where they explode in the house, anything and everything. So we are still producing a good chemical reaction. As you can tell, it's still coming up from here. I'm just going to go like this. And it is warm to the touch, and it does remind you of like a good foamy soap or toothpaste, really. So even doing that, it still is having a really cool, long-lasting chemical reaction that I would expect from this. And it doesn't have a bad taste. It just, or smell. Do not taste it. It just smells like soap and yeast. So this is, you know, something quick and easy reaction you can do. An experiment you can do at home. Just wash your hands because you may get some food dye on it. So try to wash that as quick as possible. So this is going to be live on Tuesday on our Facebook, and we will eventually have it on the library's Facebook YouTube page as well. So come in and visit. Grab one of these packets. It's super simple, easy to use. If you can get your hands on some higher percentage peroxide, that would be awesome. I want to see the videos you guys do. I want to see you guys make it. That would really be awesome to see if you guys can get your hands on some higher percentage hydrogen peroxide. I know with COVID it may be hard to come by right now, but eventually we may be able to get some peroxide that has got a decent percentage to it. This will be at the circulation days come Tuesday, Wednesday, for you to pick on the cart across from the circulation desk to come pick up. It'll be on the first shelf, and then the next shelf is from last week. So last week's was the hot cocoa bomb that was really popular, and then the bottom shelf is the previous week's experiments. So I'm just going to leave you by adding more to this and seeing what I can get out of it. And this is just at my discretion. I'm just kind of adding willy-nilly. There we go. There's a good reaction to it. So the more peroxide, the better reaction you're gonna get, which is amazing. So this is Miss Heather, and this is Steam with Me. See you guys.